Welcome back to the Dad Edit. This is episode 16. Faith, therapy, whiskey. What gets you through? Every dad has a toolkit, some of it intentional, some inherited, some improvised under pressure. In this episode, we get honest about the tools that we reach for when fatherhood stretches us to the edge. Whether it's faith, therapy, alcohol, distraction, control, or simply shutting down. This episode isn't about judgment. It's more about survival. How do we get through? What keeps you going when you're tired, you're ashamed, you're scared, you're stuck? The good tools, the bad tools, and the ones that we hope our kids never have to use. Before we talk about teaching resilience, we have to talk about how we survive ourselves, because every dad is carrying something and not all of it is helpful. When I'm failing, I have a tendency to shut down. For sure I do. In my past, I leverage gaming. I'm a big avoidance guy. When I was single, it was much easier to do it. I'd go game for a weekend. I don't have to think about my problems. I was in another world. I was getting wins. It's how I could restack my confidence, probably never addressing the actual problem. That was always my first move. And now I've had to not leverage that because I've got, a wifey at home. I've got a kid. There ain't time to spend 20 hours straight on a video game. Yeah. It's not healthy. I do a lot of inward thinking. I reprocess. I probably get most quiet because I'm having that conversation over and over in my head. What are some tools you guys use when you feel like you're failing?
Oh man, for me, I'm gonna say it off the jump. It's my faith. It's always been my faith. It's been proven. It's been shown. When times are tight and I feel like I'm backed into a corner, my faith has always got me through. I've implemented that with my family, with my girls. They've seen me in moments of struggle and they know that daddy's in the room, just taking some time to speak to God. Man, the way I look at it and the way I was raised, you're never really by yourself. Through no matter what you go through, your faith is always to get you through. So I'm going to say my strong belief in my relationship with my creator has always been my go-to. In positive times when things have actually gone well and to plan, I always give him thanks because I know that my beliefs is that he's guiding me, right? And then through my struggles, I give thanks for that too because I'm learning something. I'm improving myself for the next time I run into it. You know what I'm saying? It has to be my faith. That's what has me rooted. I am the head of my household. I'm the leader of my household. I'm the head, I'm not the tail. And through that understanding, it's worked for me. It's worked for my family. It's been proven over and over again. It's just not that I'm taking time to speak to something that's just imaginary. I'm taking time to speak to the one that created me and that knows me in and out. And I ask him just to reveal to me on this path that I'm on what I'm supposed to do, because I'm struggling right now. And I know that you care for me, you love me, and you want to see the best out of me. So just give me guidance. And in the moments of silence and just taking time for myself to be with my creator, he's revealed to me, this is how you move with this one. Be still, watch, observe. And through my obedience, I've come through on the other side like blessed, bro. A lot of people in my family tell me, I really respect what you got. I'm proud of you and everything like that. And I always respond, it's not through my hands, it's through his hands. Because I couldn't do this on my own, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's real life for me. It would be my faith that always gets me through.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Yeah, hell yeah. Cool. What about you, Jeff? What's kind of your first move when you feel like, shit, I'm starting to slide?
Now and then is
before. Yeah, let's hear before.
I've tried a little bit of everything. Some things work better than others. Ryan, you mentioned that you never truly feel alone. I've felt very alone before, and therefore would surround myself. Wouldn't like to be home by myself for even a few hours. I'd be constantly just running myself on empty, socializing as a way to fill that kind of void. I've tried everything from non-positive, maybe going out a little bit too much, to now finding that exercise is instantly even if I feel like shit, at least I feel like shit while drumming up some endorphins and doing something positive for myself. If I'm frustrated, I'll go and box, and that'll get that frustration out. I'll sweat a little. I'll probably have a good time. If not, then I'll feel like a beast that I showed up, put in some work. Nature, man, I love going on a hike. If the world, it's a busy world we live in. If you can just go on like a 2-hour hike, even alone, man, that's nice. Quiet. You watch the squirrels run around, and it reminds you that none of this shit actually matters. The meetings at work, the politics at work, the somebody's hounding you for hydro money or whatever, it doesn't matter. Remember that nature is like, I don't know how to explain that.
I feel you. Like there's a feeling that I get. My girl and I are big on going for walks, like Archie Coulter, Springwater, things like that. And there's just something about the green, like being in the sun, feeling that warmth, that's the smells of the dirt and the trees. And like I love walking through evergreens and all those needles on the ground.
Oh,
There's something about that smell that like puts me at ease. It is, I think it's what brings you to the present, right? Why we get so stressed and bothered is when we're not in the moment. When I'm thinking about shit, my whole drive here was thinking about how I'm going to handle a problem at work tomorrow from Friday. So I'm living in the past and the future, and I'm trying to have conversations and figure out ways that I'm going to navigate this, business discussion at a commercial level. I was present. I don't even remember driving. I don't know if I stopped at stop signs, if I stopped at the red light, because I wasn't there. But there's something about, like you said, going and being in nature that just grounds you.
yeah, man, it slows everything down. And like you said before, Jeff, it's a busy world right now. So many distractions. And sometimes just taking that moment to breathe in nature gives you the realization of what's real, what's not real. And it gives you time to think about the situation instead of going full force on it and maybe making a mistake. Taking that time just to pause and enjoy what was created, man. Like, it shows you what really matters. The squirrel running around, he's going to get his nuts before winter comes. That's something that's going to happen. Like,
and it's your presence in that moment that witnessed that moment.
Yeah, man.
Right? You weren't distracted thinking about, fuck, what do I got to do tomorrow? I wonder if the kids are good. How's my girl doing? Oh, do I got money to make that bill this week? You walking and being ever present. And I will say, as we get, I'm just kind of having a realization moment that these tools, boxing, going to the gym, being in nature, praying in that moment on something, are all grounding activities that bring you to right now. Lord, how do I feel? I am feeling angry and I need your guidance on how I get through this. You're not thinking about, Lord, tomorrow I've got to make it to work at 8 a.m. and then I've got a business meeting at 8:05 and what happened on Friday. You ain't saying none of that. Say, Lord, give me the strength right now to be present and yada, 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 right?
Amen.
I believe that these are all grounding activities.
Yes.
I think the ones that are, most negative, which I think I've dabbled in a lot of them, of various substances, of gaming, of escapism, avoidance,
Yes.
are bringing me to the present, but in very negative coping ways.
Yeah.
Whether I'm altering my mind state or I'm putting myself into a world that isn't real, they are presence building, putting me in the presence, whatever, but not in a healthy way.
Yeah.
And that avoidance too, you're just postponing what you'll have to deal with anyway. So you might
It comes back.
if you just pull the trigger and get done those hard things that you need to do, you'll feel better sooner. So
For sure. Isolation isn't healthy. And I think that that's what I've done. Like you said, Jeff, you're almost to the opposite. You didn't want to be at home alone. You want to go surround yourself. I retracted from everybody and only felt like I could handle this if I was alone. Days, weeks, months, no problem. No one around me. I think that that's shaped, what I'm trying to overcome now. But I isolated 100%. I'm going dark. I can't have people around me. I don't want to let them down while I'm not feeling good. So I push away. That's something that I've really had to challenge since having a kid. It's having a great partner, someone that I can lean on, who's there. Well, I can respects that I isolate, but says, hey, I'm here. You don't got to talk about nothing, but when you're ready or when you feel like it, I am always here. And then she has so thankfully just gives me my space. I still practice a bit of escapism and fucking avoidance. I'm working on it, but she gives me that space too in a semi-healthy way. Still, checks in.
Yeah, man.
And she's pretty good about like, hey, let's go have a cheeseburger picnic at Wendy's. Let's go grab a burger. Let's just go hang out in the car. Let's go for a car ride. Let's go drive somewhere. Yeah, man. And unknowingly, because I'm in my head, she creates this situation of bringing me back to the present with her, which I feel so blessed for.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
on that note, the present, right? Like, it's the only thing that's actually real. What happened in the past doesn't exist anymore, and what's about to happen in the future is out of your control. So no matter what, what happens in the future hasn't happened yet, so it's not real also. So the only thing that is real is right now.
Right now.
And otherwise, you're just speculating about what has been or
Will be.
It's not good, right? And I am someone who is risk adverse. My job, I need to look into the future, but I think that we need these tools to bring us back to the present. That we can't just live in dissecting what we've done and looking at where we're going. I would argue that we almost never focus on right now, right? So I think these tools are quite important. Aside from the physical ones that draw you back to the present, are there other emotional tools that you guys envy in other fathers that you don't experience yourself? Something that I keep saying to myself I want to go do, especially because I'm in a great place. I'm in a great place personally, professionally, in my relationship, in my fatherhood journey. I feel very positive. I want to go to therapy. I want to go there now because I know I'm good. Right? I think one of the problems, something that I envy is people that are in therapy. I don't envy when they go though. When my relationship's in the gutter, my confidence is shot. I'm about to lose my job because I'm underperforming. Now I'm going to go to therapy. I should be going now. Speaking of this, I probably won't do it because that's my baseline. Right now is my baseline. This is my up. So if we start to dip, they can see it.
Yep.
I'm not presenting, hey, I'm at my lowest.
Yes.
What's high for you? What's normal? They don't know. They have to like slowly work their way up there. That's a tool that I envy in some other folks, couples counseling or other. What about you guys? Is there any tools that you see other folks use that you think, shit, I could implement that, but don't?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like even just to stay on that topic with the therapy, right? Why does it have to be when everything's down and out, right? Why can't it be as a tool to stay on track? So yeah, I feel what you said with that part. Like I would love to be able to, set an appointment and not sit down and be like, okay, this was fucked up. This is where I fucked up.
This is what I need help with.
This is what I need help with, like, nah, this is where I'm at. Everything's going great. I just want to stay on this high, or I want to stay.
Why was everything so good for me right now? Like that's the question I want to go ask is help me understand where am I at right now? Why is this good? And 10 years ago, it was not good. What was going, like, help me realize that. Help me. I love growth. I love dissecting, who I was and why I'm where I'm at so that I can maintain that.
Exactly.
I think that's super important. It might be something that I try to implement. I don't know. I like it. Not every tool builds something for us. Some just numb the pain or buy us time. How do we know what's helping and what's hurting? How do we come to that realization?
Look at the people around you, man. Are you being a positive aspect in their lives? Are you being that positive aspect for your kids? Is the flow in the home? Is the energy in the home well? Do you come home? Are you arguing? Are you coming home having conversations and being pleasant? Look at your surroundings. Look at the ones that you love in your life. Are your boys avoiding chilling out because you're the negative Nancy all the time and all you want to do is complain about it? just look at your surroundings, bro. That will give you an idea of the tempo or the wavelength you're on. That's how I feel. Just look towards your left and right to those that you care about, and your energy, no matter negative or positive, will rub off. So take a look at your son, your newborn. Look at your son and daughter. Look at my kids. You know, look at your better half, your partner. If they're, because I truly do feel through experience, your family's a reflection of you on what's going on. You know, if you're living your best life, if you're deep in your faith, or you're working out, or you're going to go see a psychologist on a positive note, that energy will spread, and you'll see they're being on the right track. Are they frustrated as well? Just look to your left and right, bro, and the proof's in the pudding. And yeah, that's how I feel. How you can tell that you're doing something positive, or if you're just being that negative in everyone's life, you know.
I think it's hard in the moment to reflect on the negative side, right? Like not realizing that shit, I come home and I have 3 to 6 beers every night. And then that's gone to also have a couple tequila shots, take the edge off, when I first get home. I think it's hard to reflect on those and realize that shit, I'm in a bad coping time. Something that I still do to this day is if I come home and my girl and the kid are having a nap, rather than go wash the dishes because there's a bit of a stack up and, it would help. I'll rush to my room, go play some video games. I think I probably got 30 minutes. I'm gonna get in here. And that's I'm reverting back to this escapism, avoidance. Like I need to get out of this world for a minute and go here. Definitely something that I'm trying to address, but realizing it is tough. And I think recently I've started to realize that that's how I use it. I've always kind of known. Is there anything that you guys have, let's say recently, realized that you were using as an escape method or a way to not handle your problems? Jeff, do you?
I would say just realizing that you can either play victim to everything that bad that happens to you, or you can just own up and say, I get to create my day and my world and focus on what I choose to focus on, and whether it's the positive or the negative. I have a hard time in the car, like driving to and from work. This town's traffic's crazy. So this is the time that I'm frustrated, but I can choose to focus on the guy that cut me off, or that it took me 45 minutes to get 10 minutes down the road. It's crazy. Or I can just pop on some music and try my best to just keep an eye on the clock and remind myself another 15 minutes, I'll be there, kind of thing. So you get to decide how you want to craft your day. You get to decide what you could focus on, whether it be positive or negative. It's up to you whether you want to play victim all day, or if you want to take charge of things and make a positive situation for yourself. Forgetting what the question is, I just think you'll be able to feel whether you're moving in the positive or if you're moving in the negative. You'll be able to feel it, your energy. We're in tune with, vibrations and energy.
Yeah, I think you stayed on top of it there. Yeah. Like we were looking at, realizing when something's not positive for you. And I think like you said, you're driving home, you're getting in a negative space because, traffic sucks, that person's dickhead, but you are making the choice of whether or not you want to be angry in that moment and how I want to shape myself. And it's like we said way back at the beginning of this podcast is, once I get to that door, how am I walking through it? Am I walking through it miserable because my ride home sucked and it took me 45 minutes? It should take me 20 minutes. And these 3 people were dickhead drivers. As soon as I walk through that door and that presence comes in and I go immediately to the fridge and grab a beer, the kids see that.
Yeah.
Your wife feels that. And then, I think this is tying together now is Ryan says, take a break, look to your left and right and see what are you creating in your household. I think you're living evidence of I come home, I'm excited to then go to the gym. I get myself ready. Shit, I remember trying to go work out with you, do the weights. And unless it was like immediately after work for you, like I get home, I'm just too tired. I don't want to do it. But now you're like, I'm excited. I can't wait to get home, grab my shit, get ready, go to the gym, get this workout in. Like you are evidence of, I need to look left and right and see, what am I creating? What is the household? So absolutely, I think it's tough to realize, but we have to have these moments. Maybe this podcast for you, the listener, is just once in a while, stop and look, be present, go for a walk and say, shit, that felt good. Why haven't I felt like this? Why am I not feeling like this at home? If you are feeling off, everyone else is. Whether you're the influence of it or whether they are, whether there's a cause, there is a cause and effect occurring. Along that, our kids are watching. Not how we act when things are good, but how we survive when they're not.
Yep.
What tools are they learning from us? Even when we don't realize we're passing these tools on, these coping mechanisms, this how we meet anger, how we meet frustration, how we meet challenge. I am to a fault impatient person. Especially in my career growth, I have to be quick and confident. I have to move fast. And when life is slow, I can't stand it. I need to move quick. I need quick decisions. I want action. I want to move. And I get frustrated if it's not working out in that way. I want my kid to learn that. And I have to actively work on controlling my frustrations, breathing, being patient. I think, I'm living in the future. What do we do? I know that I got to put my jacket on. I got to grab my boots. I got to get the car warmed up. I got to get things ready. We got to move out. We got to go. It's 2:00. We're supposed to be there at 2:15. Let's go, 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 go. Rather than like, stop, just be present. What do I need to do now to achieve that goal later? Rather than like, I'm trying to be 7 steps ahead, but it's not fucking helping anything. I'm just creating more stress. Are there any tools that you guys have that you hope your kid doesn't pick up? Tools maybe from your past or present that you're hoping that they don't learn?
Yeah, I'm trying to coach the kids away from the mistakes that I made in the past and learn lessons that I learned, hoping that they don't have to learn those lessons. They can just recognize that certain things are maybe better than others without having to go through shit. But I guess everybody does have to go through their own stuff.
Some way.
It's a weird stage right now because it's hard to teach those lessons when nobody's really listening, or maybe they haven't gotten to the stage where we were discussing last episode about realizing that we're all just living life for the first time and dad's doing his best and dad had a life of his own when he was young that I wasn't even around for. And I've lived several lives in this one lifetime. It's kind of hard to teach them all the lessons you've learned while you want to protect them. But those are where they grow as well. That's where we grew. Life happens and that's how you build character.
It's not our job to protect our kids from everything, but it is our job to guide our kids through things, through our past experiences. Don't get me wrong, action is very important, but being vocal too in those times of their struggles is very important to give them those reminders. Coming back to my faith. Yes, they see me when in my times of struggles. I'm taking time out to, if it's read the word, pray, fast, whatever the case may be. But in their times of struggles, as I'm showing them this example, if they don't remember for themselves, I give that friendly reminder. An example, my daughter and her friend were going through some things in their friendship. And I saw how it was affecting Azaria. Babes, it's okay. Take some time, pray about it. She didn't know that for herself. She knows from seeing Daddy in his times, but when it came to her situation, she wasn't quick to implement that. So I gave her that friendly reminder. He's always there for you. He's always there to listen. So when you're feeling like you're by yourself, yes, Daddy's here, Mommy's here, but you also have the Creator, the one that knows you in and out, to help you through the situation. So bring it on to him. I gave her that friendly reminder. And to watch her implement those things made me proud, to the point where just recently, last month, on her own accord, on her own faith, she decided to get baptized because she understood for herself what she went through in her adolescence or whatever she's dealing with. She always resorts to, God. She'll come to her parents, but she knows that the Creator is there and she speaks to him. I've seen this with my own eyes, and I've seen how she maneuvers with having that option to bring her problems to the throne or to God. And the integrity as she moves forward, we're able to witness this from me, just as simply reminding her. Yes, I'm doing it, the action, but to remind her when she's down and out that you have that tool. Yeah, bro.
And it's comforting to know that she's never going to feel alone because she's
Brother,
that you taught her.
When you have an understanding, and not everyone has this understanding, but when you have an understanding that you're not by yourself, and no matter what you go through in life, he has your back, you breathe a little different. It's not all on me. I can't pay rent this month. I get on my knees. God, you know that what I'm going through, or Jehovah, you know what I'm going through, or Yahweh, you know what I'm going through. You know how I feel right now, and I don't know how I'm going to pay this rent, but I believe that you're here with me and you're going to get me through. And somehow it just calculates, it works out. Bro, that understanding gives you a different type of vibration to walk through life, and it helps you see things differently, negative and positive. You accept the negative, because my understanding is that just because of my faith doesn't mean I'm not going to go through life and experience what people that don't believe in my faith go through. I'm going to go through the same things, but through my understanding, I will deal with the situation in a different way, and it might not run me down as much as it might run someone else down that doesn't have that faith, right? So through my understanding that I'm not by myself, bro, I have a different type of swag to everything. And I try to remind my kids to have that swag, because in your darkness, and you will have some darkness in this time here, there's always a light.
There's guidance.
That candle is still flickering.
Always. No matter how bright it is, sometimes it's bright so the world can see, sometimes it's just a flicker, but that flicker can get you through. Faith, as much as a mustard seed, will get you through any mountain, any valley. Yeah, man.
I love it. I got a challenging question for you guys. If your kids came to you and said, Dad, what do you do when you're sad? What would you say? And what would you be leaving out? I would probably address it saying, we got to talk through it. You bring me these problems. I'm always here. The Lord's always here. You can always talk about things. Let's acknowledge it. Let's see why you're sad. Let's come to an agreement. What we're leaving out is that's probably not how I handle it. He's saying, what do you do when you're sad? I don't do any of that. I look internal and talk to myself. I address all those things, but not with people. Usually, that's what I would be leaving out. I think that I would be speaking the right things, but maybe not following it myself. What about you guys? If your youngest came to you today and said, Dad, I want to talk to you. What do you do when you're sad? How do you handle it? What would you tell her? Would you be leaving anything out?
Yeah, I'm a different stage in life with my kids, the young adults. So I can be more uncut and real. I won't be transparent with every feeling, because some things you gotta figure out on your own and with God. But I'll use an example. I love examples because I have so many of them, so many memories, so many lessons. I had my middle child was going through her thing with her relationship, and she was going through it. And relationships is a real thing. You got to work on it. She was coming to the end of one of her relationships, and she was going through the motions, anxiety, a little bit of depression. And she just, since we're so transparent from the beginning when they were young, she was able to come to me and talk. And I'm feeling this way, Dad. I'm praying about it. I can't shake it. What do you do? What would you do? Right? Okay, let's go take a walk in your frustration. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I could have just been like, go to your room and just pray about it. I'll say that, yes. Right? That's the faith part. But what can you do in that moment to help the situation? What can you physically do for yourself? What tools can you use for yourself to get to that point where you can actually get down on your knees and pray about it. Let's go take a walk. Let's go breathe. Brother, I'm telling you, literally, we walked for 30 minutes. The beginning of the walk was, she wasn't able to breathe. She wasn't able to like gather her thoughts. She was all over the place. Babes, let's just walk. Let's just breathe. Let's just breathe. By the end of that walk, she was calm. She was able to fully communicate what she wanted to say. And I was like, you see, when everything feels sometimes like it's crashing down, just take a moment for yourself, get out of the situation, take a moment to catch your breath, to catch your thoughts in silence, you know, either take a walk or take a drive, something that will activate your calmness. I could have told her, for myself, real life, when I'm going through shit, like I try to implement the walks, it doesn't work. Sometimes I get into my head and it makes it worse. I could have said all that, but I left that out because I know the main thing is just be present in the negativity. Take time for yourself in the negativity to gather. I just gave her the positive, right? Just the positive. I didn't get too raw because like you said, everyone has to go through things and learn for themselves. So I gave the positive stuff and I was selfish and just kept my negative thoughts that I would have may have in that situation, right?
And you know what? You gave, maybe if you said, go take a walk rather than let's go for a walk.
Yes.
You gave her the safe environment that maybe, you know, maybe that as a coping mechanism for you by yourself isn't the one, right? For you to go out and have a walk, maybe you're not present in that. But maybe if you rang us up, said, man, shit's not going okay, let's go for a walk. It's a different structure, right? So you gave her a positive tool, not sharing the like, this shit doesn't work for me, but you're the presence that made her feel safe to be in her emotions, to calm herself back down, to then get into a you know, a sympathetic state where she could then go and pray on it and be present and mindful about what she's dealing with. You created that, right?
Yeah.
So leaving out the negative, I think is can be important. And like you alluded to with Jeff, is they have to experience that for themselves. But you protected it by not saying, yeah, go for a walk. When you get home, just go pray on it. Right? That's absence. Is it helpful? Are those actions both helpful? For sure. But you created that. You created safety for that.
Kind of like walked her through it, right?
100%.
Like, go take a walk by yourself, but I'm present with her, coach her on that walk. And then maybe she runs into it again. She goes for a walk by herself.
She remembers.
She remembers, but it's not the same effect. She realizes for herself, okay, I get the going to take a walk part, but maybe I need to have my sister with me so she can talk, or my dad with me. So she chooses that, right? She had it with me when I coached her on what to do, and then she did it. It didn't work out the same way. Okay, she realizes for herself, I get the walk part, but it's not about by myself. Maybe I need to walk with someone just to coach me, to calm me down and get me through those steps. Yeah, man.
For sure. Jeff, what about you? If, you know, your son came to you and says, what do you do when you're sad? What do you say? And are you leaving anything out?
I think he's at an age where he's seen me low and he's seen me in my high, and he notices the different ways that I've coped before and now. And I think he is very much like me. He absorbs a lot of information and processes a lot without you realizing that he's paying attention. I wouldn't need to go through my young days. Like, there's no need. He knows that certain ways of dealing with things are negative.
But should never so say, yeah, go hit the bar.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, he knows that's not the way to go about things. I'm always speaking about who you surround yourself with is very important. He says, I know. I think he absorbs a lot without us having to actually talk it out.
That's good. You know, you feel that your actions kind of model an effect where he's not having to ask, he's watching. You're at a phase where, you know, because you're in that coaching phase, he's preteen, he knows everything, but also at the same time knows nothing. you really need to demonstrate more than tell him, because you're at a point in coaching through example.
Yeah.
Right? You want to model behaviors of positive coping. And, maybe because you're in your own journey of that, you're getting rid of some negative habits, replacing it with positive ones. And he's seeing that reflection. I want to make sure that I have an environment where my son can come to me and say, Dad, what do you do when you're sad?
Yeah.
What do you do when you're frustrated? What do you do when I'm so anxious about going to school? What do you do? I want to make sure that I have an environment where I can invite that, whether I have the answers or not, whether I can say, buddy, I don't have a fucking clue. When you find out, let me know. But let's talk through it. What do you mean?
That's the thing too, right? Like, I'm fairly transparent with him, because if I don't know something, I'll say I don't know. I mean, and I'll remind him, like, maybe I'm figuring something out for the first time as well. We can learn together if you want.
Hell yeah.
With my daughter too, she's still younger. Helping her with the creative outlets, she sees me do art when I've got a little anxiety. I'll be creating something, taking that, channeling it into this creative outlet. When she's feeling good or not good, she'll be creating art as well. She's similar. Or we'll just snuggle on the couch, not talk, and watch a movie. Yeah.
Do you guys have, I mean, your kids are cut from your cloth. Do you have any fears of your kids becoming like an old version of you? When you see an old version, this is something I'll speak from my own. In my 20s, post-military, I was aggressive. I got into fights. I thought it was cool. I based a lot of my worth on social status. I was doing really nefarious, bad shit, and thought I wanted to be a goon. I wanted to be a bad boy. I wanted to be the tough guy. I wanted everyone to, be a bit intimidated when I was in the room. I don't ever want my kid to be that boy. I want him to, I do weigh the struggle that I have is I want him to be a strong man. And I think I've established myself as that. Just the path that I've taken wasn't positive. It caused a lot of problems. I hurt a lot of people close to me, a lot of people I don't know. It caused a lot of destruction. I fear that my kid in his 20s, when he's moved away, is ringing me up saying, Dad, buddy, I beat up 3 people last night. I got into a fight. I fucking won. I smashed these 3 dudes out. I used to call my mom up and say that. A single mama who raised her, she stayed out of it because, I'm 20. I'm my own man. We'll be talking now. She's like, I was afraid you were going to die or get arrested.
Yeah.
Every single day that you said that shit. Yeah. And I wore it like a badge of honor. I was so proud that I was getting into fights. Not acceptable.
Yeah.
I think the day and age has changed though too, right? Like, we grew up, every song was about drinking and doing shots and partying and living your best life for the moment. Right now, kids nowadays, the trend is not drinking, not smoking. All of that is clearly terrible for you. And I think the kids nowadays are smart enough to stay away from that. They may watch some YouTube videos that are just brain rot type stuff, but they're not smoking cigars in this 45-year-old dude's car at a fucking weird party in the country.
Yeah.
They're not underage drinking like millennials may have done, because it's the culture, right? That was promoted back then. I'm not worried about them at all, actually. Like what we've lived through doesn't exist anymore, and what's now and going forward seems like a little bit more positive of a
I have heard that there's a bit of a swing generationally to more, maybe at your kids' age, and I'm sure you can speak to a bunch of this too, because your kids are in a different generation than Jeff's. I don't know what mine's going to grow up in yet, but I know with Jeff's generation, there is a swing to more of a conservative approach towards life. They're a bit more maybe family oriented, a little bit more straight edge, let's call it. I think the minority is the kids outside of that. Whereas I know when I grew up, that was the majority.
Hell
The
yeah.
majority of us were drinking, smoking. I had suspended in grade 6 for drinking on school property.
Yeah.
Not acceptable. Smoking a joint.
Yeah.
Used to steal my mom's cigarettes to go smoke with friends. Picking them out of the ashtray to bust up.
Yeah.
And then roll our own smokes at a young age.
Yeah.
Not to her fault or anything, but I was down a wrong path. Like Jeff said, there was an apartment complex, and us at grade 6 and 7 were hanging out with adults giving us fucking weed, and
Yeah.
it wasn't okay. So I'm glad to hear that it doesn't seem that the majority is going that route now. That's my biggest fear, is that my kid's gonna grow up with this want to prove something to the world. And I think that that's what I was doing. My daddy issues and my lack of a positive male figure at that point in my time. I just met the world with aggression. And I hope he doesn't have to. Right?
Well, with you being present and having this mindset, brother,
Mhm.
you have the opportunity to give him what you didn't have. And that's just a straight up father figure. Having those conversations, you're in tune with yourself to know that, you want to have these conversations and you want to lead them in the right path, right? And I think that's why it's leaned away from how we grew up, because now that we're adults and we're the fathers, we want to be present because we're conscious of what was lacking then, right? So
Yeah.
he's already winning because of who you've become.
Even if you're questioning, like, am I a good parent? Just asking yourself that question makes you a good parent, right? Like, you're doing an excellent job. No matter what, you're winning, like Ryan said.
Yeah. 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 I love it. To close out, guys, Spotify, YouTube, drop a follow, leave a review, like the posts. Remember, this does help our algorithms reach other fathers, people like us, like you listening. It's super helpful. It is a simple action for you guys. You click on a button, but it means the world to us. Follow us on Instagram or Threads at the Dad Edit Podcast, on X at the Dad Edit, or on TikTok at the.dadedit.podca. Some tools we build, some protect us, some just keep you afloat. Whatever you're holding, the point isn't perfection. It's to stay the fight. Remember, teach your kids how to build better tools than we did. This is the Dad Edit. If this helped you name your own tools or realize some negative ones in your life, share it with another father. Leave us a review and keep rewriting your fatherhood together. We is all we got. That's what's up. Take care.